We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Just went off on The View, and this wasn't your average media dust-up. It was a full-blown verbal blitz. The spark? Charlie Kirk slapping the show with a massive $100 million lawsuit. That's not monopoly money, that's real. Legal muscle. As soon as Rogan caught wind of it, he unleashed a no-holds-barred takedown, ripping into the show for their played-out tactics, fake outrage, and careless name-dropping. No filters, no sugarcoating, just pure heat. He slammed the hosts for turning real people's reputations into punchlines, all in the name of ratings. Now, Kirk's flipping the script and saying, "You want to play dirty on national TV? Fine, let's do this in court." This isn't just a legal move, it's a shot across the bow of mainstream media. And Rogan, he's not just watching, he's fanning the flames. This wasn't a roast, it was a media wildfire, and Rogan just brought the lighter fluid.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to
Joe Rogan just lit the fuse, and The View is officially under fire. After Charlie Kirk hit them with a staggering $100 million lawsuit, this isn't just another blip on the media radar, it's a full-scale eruption. And Rogan, he's not sitting back with popcorn, he's jumping headfirst into the chaos like a man who got VIP access to the media meltdown of the year. For Kirk, this lawsuit isn't about headlines, it's a power move, a message loud and clear. Use my name for ratings. Cool, I'll see you in court. What The View brushed off as just another spicy segment has now detonated into a legal grenade. Rogan shredded their tired formula, torching their manufactured outrage and careless name dropping. They thought Kirk was an easy mark, until the script flipped and the consequences hit. Now, the same hosts who gleefully threw out accusations are backpedaling, calling it all a misunderstanding. Too late. This isn't a deleted tweet. It's a $100 million storm heading straight for their studio. And Rogan? He's thriving. He's not just commenting, he's demolishing. The way he tears into The View is like watching a gorilla crash a tea party with a flamethrower. No filter, no fear, just pure, unapologetic takedown. Daytime TV just got a hard reality check. The days of drama without accountability might be over. Kirk's lawsuit isn't just legal, it's cultural, a signal that throwing mud on national TV might finally come with a bill. And Joe Rogan, he's on the mic, pouring gasoline and loving every second.
You has to be if you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person, and what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
Go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Joe Rogan isn't holding back when it comes to The View, and he's definitely not softening the blow. As the hosts scramble in the wake of Charlie Kirk's $100 million lawsuit, Rogan is calling them out with sharp, unapologetic precision. You dish it out, but you can't take it. His delivery? Blunt, sarcastic, and brutally honest. The kind of commentary that lands because it cuts right through the noise, while the panelists try to keep it composed on air, putting on their best serious faces and delivering righteous monologues. Rogan rolls in with a smirk and says what most people are thinking. Nice act, now here's the real story. They've been hurling accusations like candy at a parade, but Rogan's tossing truth like bricks, and he's enjoying every second of it. As the lawsuit turns up the heat, that confident studio energy is starting to waver. What once looked like boldness is starting to look like panic. Let's be real. The View has built its success on a mix of loud opinions and moral posturing, but when the backlash has actual consequences, that high ground starts crumbling. Rogan isn't buying the act. No scripts, no polite tap dancing. Just a relentless breakdown of how performance politics fall apart when challenged by something real, like legal action and public accountability. And Rogan? He's not slowing down. He's not just throwing punches, he's exposing the cracks in the foundation. And with every mic drop, he's reminding the world that if you play dirty in the spotlight, don't be surprised when someone shines it back on you.
Now we begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced neo who showed up outside the event.
Joe Rogan isn't just calling out The View, he's dismantling their self-proclaimed role as moral gatekeepers, brick by brick. He's been openly mocking the show for years, but now, with Charlie Kirk's $100 million lawsuit on the table, Rogan's taking the gloves off. Armed with sarcasm and that trademark no BS delivery, he's pointing out what a lot of people have noticed. The same hosts who turned their talk show into a courtroom for others are suddenly nervous when the spotlight swings back on them. Rogan's take is clear. They're used to dishing out judgment with no pushback. Tossing accusations, pushing narratives, then sidestepping any fallout has been their MO. But Charlie Kirk just flipped the rules. His lawsuit isn't for show. It's a serious warning to media elites. Use my name to score cheap points. Fine, but you better be ready to pay for it. This legal strike is more than just a headline. It's a shock to the system. It's a challenge to every panel, pundit, and host who's gotten too comfortable thinking defamation is just part of the entertainment package. What once passed as spicy daytime banter is now a $100 million liability. The View may have built its brand on dramatic flair and sharp opinions, but now they're in unfamiliar territory, facing real consequences. Their usual swagger has quieted, their high ground looking more like thin ice. And Rogan, he's loving every second of it. With that smirk and a hot mic, he's breaking it down for his massive audience, not just for laughs, but as a reality. Check. In his eyes, the era of reckless talk without accountability might finally be cracking, because this time, someone didn't just fire back, they brought the legal receipts.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
You know, just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
It's ego, drama, money, and legal fire, all colliding in one explosive media showdown. And the craziest part, we're just getting started. On one side, you've got The View, a panel built on outrage and performative morality. On the other, Charlie Kirk, a conservative powerhouse with deep pockets and no interest in playing nice. He didn't just clap back, he dropped a $100 million legal grenade right in their lap. That's not a slap on the wrist, that's a financial wrecking ball. And Joe Rogan, he's off to the side with a mic in one hand and a smirk on his face, watching it all unfold like a front row guest to the media circus. While The View hosts read from their well-worn scripts of righteous indignation, Rogan cuts through the posturing with surgical sarcasm. His roast isn't just entertainment, it's a brutal reality check. He's pointing out exactly how quickly their so-called moral authority folds when faced with real consequences. One day they're confidently tossing accusations, the next they're nervously reading legal disclaimers and pretending it's business as usual. But this isn't just a clash of personalities, it's a snapshot of where media stands in 2025. Lawsuits have become the new mic drops. Outrage is the currency. And audiences, they're not tuning in for truth, they want the chaos. Add Elon Musk to the equation and the spectacle only intensifies. Suddenly, The View finds itself trapped in a media minefield where the old playbook, loud opinions, no accountability, is blowing up in real time. Rogan's commentary is the exclamation point, the voice reminding everyone that this isn't just another TV spat, it's a legal, cultural, and reputational reckoning. And make no mistake, the cameras are rolling, the internet's watching, and this show's just getting warmed up.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
this isn't the drama The View signed up for. Courtrooms, legal teams, and multi-million-dollar lawsuits? That's a far cry from the cushy, scripted world of daytime talk shows. And just when things couldn't possibly get more complicated, Joe Rogan steps in with his trademark brutal sarcasm, digging deep into wounds the hosts didn't even know they had. His takedown isn't just funny, it's sharp, calculated, and it pierces through The View's carefully crafted image, exposing just how hollow their outrage really is when confronted by someone who isn't afraid to call them out. Let's just not sugarcoat it. The View has built its empire on selective outrage and performative morality. They've thrived on tearing down easy targets while maintaining a polished, untouchable persona. But now, with Charlie Kirk's $100 million lawsuit and Rogan's viral roast, their double standards are under the harsh spotlight. And when the glare hits, that shiny facade starts to crack. The clapback culture they've relied on for ratings doesn't work so well when there are real consequences. Suddenly, the volume drops and the glamour fades. The audience isn't just watching, they're witnessing a high-stakes spectacle, part soap opera, part courtroom drama. All set in the media's twisted battleground. Joe Rogan is stepping into the role of the unfiltered referee, thriving in this chaos with no script, no apologies, and just a flood of truth disguised as comedy. Meanwhile, The View is silent. No clever comebacks, no emotional exits, just uncomfortable tension and visible panic behind the smiles. This isn't celebrity beef, it's a full-blown media reckoning, a sharp reminder of how the lines between news, entertainment, and personal vendettas have blurred. This is America's culture war, rebranded as reality TV, and it's unfolding right before our eyes.
Culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stop looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, right. whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side, and if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do, and no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge, and on that bridge they'll see RFK. They'll see.
The View versus Charlie Kirk isn't just a media clash. It's a cultural proxy war in a divided America, where lawsuits are the new ammunition and clapbacks are the only language that matters. This isn't petty neighborhood drama or a viral Twitter war. It's America, feud edition, 2025 style, where reputations are at stake and even a single hot take can spark a legal inferno. Charlie Kirk didn't just fire back with words, he brought in the heavy artillery. A $100 million lawsuit isn't just a counterattack, it's a statement. You don't get to drag my name through the mud and walk away unscathed. In the current media landscape, once the cameras stop rolling, it's the courtroom that becomes the main event. This isn't just about defamation, it's a power play. The rules have changed. The battleground is legal, the weapon is cash, and the armor is clout. Only the biggest players get to step into this arena, and the prize is influence, attention, and potentially a massive financial payout. On one side, you have The View, daytime TV's reigning queens of outrage. Their weapons, emotional monologues, exaggerated reactions, and a heavy dose of moral superiority. Drama wrapped in designer clothes, broadcasted as if it's serious discourse. But now, that performance is up against something far more real, consequences. This isn't just about opinions anymore. It's about accountability, and the stakes have never been higher.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in, you know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her, and you know, they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
On the other side of this battle, Charlie Kirk isn't just playing the same old media game. He's flipping the script entirely. Instead of throwing shade, he's turning the controversy into a rallying cry, stacking headlines, and launching legal grenades. It's no longer about who's right or wrong. It's about who delivers the hardest blow and who gets the last word in court. What started as a clash of ideas has escalated into a full-scale war for influence, with a chaotic wrecking ball smashing through the polished glass of daytime TV. We're watching a blend of legal drama, reality show antics, and political theater, all collapse into one messy spectacle. Is this news, satire, entertainment? Maybe it's all of the above. One moment we're discussing political ethics, and the next we're knee-deep in a Hollywood-style courtroom showdown. So grab your popcorn. Because this isn't just a lawsuit, it's an episode in America's wildest reality show, the battle for national attention. And the twist, while the power players throw punches and maneuver legal pawns, the average viewer is left trying to figure out what's real and what's just another piece of the spectacle. The lawsuit, Rogan's viral roast, and the endless media spin aren't about justice anymore. They're about drama, ego, and ratings. This isn't news, it's content, messy, addictive, binge-worthy content. The lines between entertainment and reality are blurring, and we're all just watching the chaos unfold. So what's next in this wild, popcorn-worthy saga? Honestly, it's anyone's guess. Maybe The View takes the damage control route, quietly settles, cuts the check, and hopes the whole thing vanishes into the next news cycle. Or just maybe, this thing blows up into a full-scale courtroom brawl, complete with leaked emails, private DMs, and behind-the-scenes tantrums dropping online like midnight movie trailers. Picture the discovery phase. Lawyers scouring digital archives like caffeinated TMZ interns. Every deleted tweet, shady Slack message, and off-the-record hot take becomes fair game for public spectacle. If this thing goes to trial, forget the usual courtroom decorum. It's going to be a media circus with all the flair and drama you'd expect, only with better suits. Sure, The View might try to rebrand, clean up the mess, throw out a half-hearted apology, and slap on some new PR sparkle. But let's face it, drama is their brand. They don't just respond to chaos, they are the chaos. And the internet is ready. Memes will fly, TikToks will trend, Rogan's clips will be dissected, remixed, and spread across every feed like wildfire. This lawsuit has officially outgrown the courtroom and become jet fuel for the content machine. Daytime TV hasn't just gotten messy, it's gone nuclear. No going back now, and in the eye of the storm, Joe Rogan, the podcast king, the unfiltered commentator who can take a half-baked headline and turn it into viral gold. His mockery isn't just a jab, it's a signal flare. This feud isn't fluff, it's personal, it's serious, and it's nowhere near over. The next chapter is guaranteed to be just as chaotic.
Disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right. Just because you didn't go to college
doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly.
This isn't just a lawsuit, it's a whirlwind of chaos tossed into a media world already drowning in outrage culture, influencer drama, and performative politics. The old rules? Gone. A single tweet can ignite a firestorm. One podcast clip can explode across the internet. One legal filing can flip the script and turn a talk show segment into a viral meme battle. What happens next? Honestly, no one knows, and that's exactly what makes this so captivating. But one thing is clear. Boring checked out a long time ago. This is high-stakes real-world drama with all the spicy extras. Money, power, egos, and enough public spectacle to keep social feeds buzzing non-stop. Every update is ripe for screenshots. Every reaction is a potential TikTok sensation, and every misstep is a fresh round of digital dynamite. The View's legal mess isn't just making headlines, it's becoming a case study in modern media. Chaos. It's what happens when egos collide with the court system in a world where everything is a performance. The line between real journalism and theatrical spectacle isn't just blurry, it's completely erased. Courtroom threats are turning into content, and snappy comebacks are evolving into legal statements. And right in the middle of it all, Joe Rogan's mic is still on, Charlie Kirk's legal team is playing hardball, and the content machine keeps churning. The next chapter is sure to bring even more twists, cringeworthy moments, and viral explosions. So who's next in the roast rotation? Which headline will ignite the next firestorm? One thing's for sure, this saga is just heating up. And the best part, watching the power dynamic shift faster than The View can cue up their next outrage-filled segment. The View is getting a harsh reality check and learning the tough lesson that reckless commentary doesn't come without consequences. So what does this mean for the future of daytime TV and the ever-growing culture war? For starters, it might be the wake-up call the mainstream media never saw coming. Charlie Kirk's $100 million lawsuit didn't just make a few people nervous, it flipped the entire table. It's a loud, expensive reminder that while everyone's entitled to their opinion, recklessly throwing out damaging accusations can come with a hefty price tag. Then there's Joe Rogan, the wildcard commentator who turned a savage roast into a masterclass on exposing media hypocrisy. No PR nonsense, no rehearsed apologies, just raw, unfiltered truth bombs with a smirk and a mic. This isn't just about one lawsuit, a handful of outraged hosts, and a popular podcast. It's a full-on media storm, complete with everything audiences crave: legal drama, viral moments, and a dash of chaos for good measure. You've got Kirk dropping lawsuits like grenades, The View scrambling to hold it together, and Rogan narrating the spectacle like it's the Super Bowl of media meltdowns. Here's the kicker: the next time any host wants to toss accusations around like confetti at a parade, they better remember, both the internet and lawyers are watching. In today's media battlefield, the loudest voice doesn't always win. It's the sharpest one, the voice with strategy, wit, and the legal firepower to fight back when it counts. Daytime TV drama isn't just about ratings anymore. It's about reputation, legal stakes, and who can weather the fallout. Joe and Charlie just raised the bar, and The View better tread carefully. Loving this no-holds-barred breakdown? Smash that like button, drop your take in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. More drama, more receipts, and more media mayhem are coming your way. See you in the next one.